Welcome to 15K plus random movie reviews, where we take random movies from Metacritic's 15K plus movies to randomly watch, whether we like it or not. Hello and welcome to episode 41 of 15K plus random movie reviews. This is Colin.
And this is Niall.
And this is random movie 10,594. It's a movie called Metroland from 1997. It's starring Christian Bale and Emily Watson, amongst others. Directed by Philip Saville, who's mainly known for a lot of no relation to Jimmy.
That's the first thing that popped into my head when I was going through the IMDb.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, not him. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So he's mainly known for TV miniseries, not a lot of famous stuff. But if you're brought up in the 70s or 80s in England, you probably might know some of his miniseries. The movie runs for 1 hour and 45 minutes. Seems a bit longer than that, but we'll get to that in a minute. It's got a meta score of 53, which is fine, but it uses a score of 8.2, and that my scientific theory behind that is Christian Bale.
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm a massive fan of Christian Bale stuff. He's done some amazing pieces of work. This is him at his work. Like, okay, he's probably the best part of it, but it's not 8.2.
No. Well, he had about 8 movies before this as a youngster.
Well, there's one particular movie as a youngster that really shines.
Empire of the Sun.
And he is great in it. What a great cast. This is a world away from that.
Different genres.
It's different genres, different budget, different
quality,
direction, different quality, different sound, different everything. My God.
Well, Empire of the Sun was 10 years before this one, so he had a bit of a kind of a segue to this, and I'm guessing, maybe this was one of his.
He had to finish school as well, I guess.
Yeah. I'm guessing this is one of his first lead roles, perhaps. Like, looking through his biog here, probably his first. So he would have snapped this up with both hands. Then after Metroland, he's got Velvet Goldmine the year after, and then 3 years after this, we've got American Psycho. So that starts him off on his journey.
That's a movie he carries quite easily.
Yeah. Then we've got your favorite film. 5 years after this one, Equilibrium in 2002.
Yes, favorite.
Diet Matrix.
Yeah, if you not really want to get into the whole complexity of it and just want to see some guy shooting people while doing kung fu, there you go.
Yeah. But I'm guessing a lot of Batman fans basically have just gone back through his entire catalog and just said, yeah, this is amazing because he's great and he's amazing. He can't do anything wrong. That's why they use the score as 8.2. The nutshell summary of this movie is based on a novel by Julian Barnes. Chris, played by Bale, starts recalling his bohemian Parisian life in the late 1960s after his old friend Tony comes for a surprise visit. It makes him question everything about his life, even if he should have married his wife Marion Watson and settled down in the suburbs of London. And if that doesn't sound interesting to you, well, you're bloody right. It's not interesting.
Yeah, it's some guy having an early midlife crisis. Who gives a poop?
I think I found a genre that I hate as much as the sound editing of footsteps that are fake.
Yeah,
marriage.
Yeah, it does. It does scream to me of a similar style to Past Lives.
Right.
Complaining about choices that you didn't make.
Yes.
The kind of whataboutery and maybe you should have shut up and enjoy yourself. God damn.
Well, it's like a movie 101 on nostalgia and regret, and it's like, okay, we make it be a married man with a kid. The kid cries and he has to get up out of bed, and that's annoying. And then his friend who comes, he's a party animal still. Blah blah blah. Tropes.
That's it. But they are just tropes. There's no, at least in Past Lives, there was a little bit of detail put in there. Like, I know we'll get into it in a bit, but flashbacks to his childhood, and so weak and so meh.
And what makes it even worse, and it all comes together into a steaming pile of crap, basically. But the music that's played when the flashbacks happen is like bum, 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 bum. It's like Kahoot. I don't know. As a teacher, you have to play this website called Kahoot. It's an online quiz, and the theme tune is ding, 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 and it was just terrible. And it's Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits who wrote Walk of Life and shit like that.
Yeah.
This isn't his forte.
No, and his name's right up there at the start in the credits.
I was like,
yeah. God, it's shockingly bad music.
Yeah. One thing I'll mention just before we move on, just for somebody in the background, Jenny Bevan was the costume designer, and she did. I think she won Oscars for Mad Max Fury Road and King's Speech. So and the costumes are fine in this. It's pretty. It fits in.
Yeah, like it's a period piece effectively because it's set like nearly 15 years before it's actually shot.
Yeah.
And yes, it is of its time. Not that I can remember fashion and style on the year I was 0 years old.
Yeah. It looks 70s. That's, we've experienced enough media to understand. Yeah, that fits the bill. It also kind of harks back to our music movie that we had. I can't remember the name of it now.
The one in London.
Yeah. God, we're bad at recounting.
Axe Rock?
Yeah,
Rock
yeah.
Axe, something like that.
Lovers.
All right, God.
Lovers Rock.
Lovers Rock. There we go. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. So it's very similar to that sort of...
much less interesting.
Yeah, very much less interesting. Anyway, we start off the movie and it's we get to know it's 1977 because it says it a bit later, but it's just got this acoustic guitar and clarinet intro by Mr. Knopfler, and it's terrible. There's like
the train lines.
It's train lines. It's meant to encapsulate us into this commute that Chris takes every day and night and blah blah blah. And
yeah, but that's not going to get me interested in anything other than, I have to commute every now and then. I hate it. I don't need to be reminded.
It's setting the emotion, though. It's setting the scene.
All the fun of sitting on a train for an hour and a half. This movie.
I could just put on Train Simulator and put my...
At least a Train Simulator, you got to make a couple of decisions,
Press a button.
Open the doors. Close the doors.
Yeah. Yeah, so and this train motif comes back a couple of times, and it's like every time we are, as the audience, we're dumb because we're like, okay, Chris is supposed to not be liking his life right now, so let's put the train tracks back in again. Dun, 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 dun,
dun. You may think Colin's exaggerating here. He's not. Unfortunately not.
So
what did you think about disappearing people? That is another common motif in this movie.
Disappearing people?
He's looking at people and then they disappear.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. The flashbacks were done terribly. The daydreams he did. He was like looking...
gob open,
yes,
and eyes staring off vacantly.
Yeah.
Now look stupider. No, that's not nearly stupid enough. 50% more stupid there, Mr. Bale.
It was taking it was like it was getting to be like comic.
Farce.
A farce.
It really was. Yeah.
But
it wasn't intentional, and that's how it sucks so bad.
Yeah, it was very TV quality, and that's where this director comes in. He's used to, fitting in like over the top sort of drama so that people will stick around after the 5-minute ad break for McVitie's digestives,
But there was one, speaking of it being TV quality, still on the credits. There's one scene at the end of the credits where it's basically a car pulling up outside somebody's house. But there's zero stabilization on the camera, so it's basically some lad in the back of a Ford Cortina holding a standard TV camera. Awful.
Steady on, Chris. You nearly knocked me over.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just shocking.
Yeah. After the horrible quality of intro, we get to the whole, you get to it basically one-off trope of a couple lying in bed and the phone ringing at 5:30 in the morning, and then the baby crying. It's like, all right, here we go. We're meant to believe this is just a horrible, depressing, just annoying thing for Chris. Anyway, on the end of the phone call at 5:30 is Tony, his old party friend.
Oh, Dudley, Tony.
Hey, haven't seen you in 5 years, mate. Let's get lunch.
Yeah. If he called me at 5:30 in the morning, This would be the end of the bloody movie.
Yeah. So what the
You
hell?
want to be dead.
I don't.
You want to be dead or dying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're just calling. Yeah, get a bloody life, Tony. So anyway, they're talking the next morning about Tony, and oh, he's always angry. Oh, he's my best friend. He's a bad writer. No, just because he ain't published doesn't mean he's a bad writer. And he's in the car park when this first comedic flashback happens. Daydream.
Oh my God, it's so stupid.
Oh, it's a flashback. Yeah, it's a flashback. Then he has a daydream.
Yeah. It's a flashback.
It's a flashback to his American girlfriend, Anik, and he's photographer, and they're having a fun time, and he's young, and he's staring into the distance. And
was she American or French?
French. Did I say American? Sorry.
You did.
Oops. And yeah, so then he gets got out of that flashback by his wife, and then
she calls Tony a vegan terrorist front member or something like that. Which one line in the movie I liked.
Vegan, yeah. Then they get home, and then he has another daydream before he goes into the house or something, where his wife's going, "I want you to have affairs. I'll still do your cooking for you."
Oh, it's just awful dialogue.
Yeah,
like there isn't. I was taking the piss about the vegan terrorist front thing being good dialogue. It was so bad, it stuck out. But there isn't one line in this movie that I could put a pin in and say, actually, that wasn't bad.
No, I can't think of anything, to be honest with you. I think the intro really just it rang to me going, yeah, I'm not going to like this movie.
Oh, and it was perfectly describing the movie, this intro.
Yeah. Anyway, they're I don't know, the next scene I think they're in bed, and then they want to have a bit of fun, but then the baby's crying, and then the baby's in bed, and there you go. That's another bit of unhappiness for Tony, or for Chris. Tony Party Boy arrives then. Actually, you know what? This was actually quite humorous, wasn't it, when he came in?
In fairness, that it was reasonably realistic, the relationship that happened, but that was 2 minutes of the movie where they're having a few glasses of wine and just chatting in the house.
Yeah, but I kind of thought it was funny when he was like, "I love you."
Oh, he said I love you, man.
I thought it was okay.
It was a bit telegraphed though, like it wasn't exactly a shock one. He's like, we knew that the movie wasn't going to be about him being in love. With
exactly.
Chris.
Yeah. So then, they have a drunken poetry rant. It was like, it's boring. It's like, poetry this, poetry that. I don't really care. They're drunk. Yeah. Chris then takes a walk, and then there's a voiceover telling us why he takes walks. I make lists.
Yeah, like Christ on a bike. Like, that's fine. I'm having walks, trying to get things sorted in the head. You don't need to describe why he's going for a walk at 4:00 in the morning. It's pretty obvious he's trying to get things sorted in his head. Why else would he be doing it unless he's doing some coke on the street or, meth?
Speed,
crystal meth. It would have made more sense than the rest of the movie, to be honest.
Yeah. Anyway, he meets up with Tony for a pint, as you do, of everything a man can want.
Really?
Now, this is the entire conversation they have throughout the movie. Are you really happy, Chris? Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah.
No, not really.
Really, are you? Of course you can't be.
Yeah. At this point, Tony, I do remember writing down several times that Tony is a 4-letter word beginning with C.
A cock.
And yeah, let's go with that one. That's a nice way of putting it. Let's be honest, Chris ain't much better.
Nah, he's a dweeb. He's dumb, and obviously, he acts it during the movie as well. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. This is when we have our first flashback to when they're two lecherous teens talking about France and how they want to.
Oh my God!
And this is when the music is just terrible. Like Mark Knopfler, like I'd love to ask him a question.
Him in the nose.
So what were you thinking?
Were you drunk?
Yeah, it's like, I know you're famous with Dire Straits and all, but come on. Anyway, we have that flashback. It's not really worth mentioning, but they're dressed in school uniforms and it looks weird because they're obviously in their 20s.
It's funny for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. And like, it's just stupid as well because they're beside a tennis court. A ball comes over and the guy goes, "Oh, can you throw the ball back?" And they just look at him. And it's like, and the old guy looks at them when he picks up the ball. It's like, What was that for? I don't really.
I don't know. I think they were giving out. I think it was trying to set the scene where Tony is against these anti-bourgeoisie.
Oh yeah. Because he
And
calls
giving
them
out about the bankers of Metroland.
Yeah, because he calls Chris later a bourgeoisie or whatever. Flash forward back to 77. We have a commute and he's bored again. Then another flashback to 63 when when the two of them are in a train and they start speaking French to an English dude and start talking about going back to his house and having a party with his daughter or something. And another old guy speaks French, so he's like, "Oh yeah, that's what they're saying." And then he goes, "Ah," and then they run away.
I had a question pop up about the scene later in the movie. I just couldn't care enough to rewind to find out.
The same old guy.
Was it the same old guy as later in the movie?
I think so, because he's marked up quite high on the credits as old commuter or something man. So I think it's the same dude that translates.
I think he's a personification of Chris's self-loathing and his bourgeois ways, or some such nonsense.
Yeah. So then we flash forward again to 77, where he's in the pub again. And Chris is going, yeah, that was great days back then, weren't it? It's like a kid wrote this for like primary school fiction competition, you know? The dialogue sometimes. Those are great days.
In fairness, if a 14-year-old wrote this, I'd be like, well done.
Yeah.
But that's where I stop.
Yeah.
The dialogue is so just, it's on the nose, really, isn't it? It's just, there's no nuance.
Yeah.
It's not Tarantino.
Opposite of. And did you hear Sneaky Mark Knopfler did in the background? He's got Dire Straits in the background of the pub.
I missed that. Oh,
yeah.
It's a good move. It's a good move. Well done. That's maybe the only reason he did the movie.
Yeah. Sneak it in there. Anyway, so Tony is saying, "Oh, me and Callie are non-monogamous," and Chris is going, "Huh?
How'd you get one of those?
I want that." Anyway, he's like, Chris is going, "Oh, have you cheated on her?" "No. 8 years of marriage." Then they go to his work and he's going, "You're a bloody good photographer." He's like, "Not quite good enough. Here's my Metro book of London transportation."
I'm sorry. Like, if he wants to be a train spotter, let him be a train spotter. He doesn't have to be cool.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Then, of course, another trope quote from Tony. "What's happened to you, Chris?"
Yeah.
And they just stare.
Used to be cool, now you want the bourgeoisie.
Yeah. All right, so then he goes to a punk show and his wife's going, "What are you going to that for? Enjoy it, you asshole." So then Chris is like, "Oh, here, I'm taking this joint," and then he's lying down in the side in the alleyway going, "This is fun."
Yeah, again, I don't know if this is a fair depiction of drug use.
It's better a depiction of drug use than bloody Three Sisters or The Sisters.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah. Much more accurate.
And then again, we have another quality line going, "Tony, what's your secret or something?" And Tony's going, "I do what I want, mate. I do what I want, mate. Do what I want."
Just pants.
Yeah. So then, obviously, Chris comes home and he wants to have a bit of fun, but he's drunk. And then, what's the name of the wife, actually? I can't remember her name.
Oh, Marion.
Marion, yeah. Then, of course, for some reason, Tony has come home with him. Like, yeah, sleep on the couch, Tony. And Chris is like grunting on the bed, and his grunts turn into horses in the morning. You like that sound edit, transition?
I don't get it, and it was really poor stock footage of some horses. Like it wasn't dynamic. There wasn't interest. There were just some horses in the field.
They were lovely horses.
Yeah, but they were like kind of blurry.
Yeah,
it was poorly shot.
Yeah. So he wakes up the next morning and Tony and Marion are staring at each other at the table, and then he comes in his tidy whities and gets some Alka-Seltzers, and we have another flashback.
A bit of tension just before they leave. Something had happened.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't dig into it too much at that point.
Not much at that point. Flashback to 63 again. Saxophone music. Terrible.
Oh, shocking.
He's snapping trains because he likes trains. He's a train spotter. Oh yeah, what did I write down? Retiree speech. What did I write that down for?
Oh, this is the guy in the train who disappears in a few seconds.
Yeah.
Talking about the bourgeoisie, Metroland.
Yeah, exactly. It was meant to mean something, but it doesn't mean anything.
Nah, it's some nonsense,
Yeah,
pseudo-intellectual twaddle.
yeah. Then he actually vanishes, disappearing people like Mr. Ben, that old cartoon. Remember that old cartoon, Mr. Ben? Was it Mr. Ben?
Maybe. Yeah, Mr. Ben. He came in and he got a change of clothes.
Yeah. He'd go into a changing room and go to a historic era of the time, and then he'd disappear. This reminded me of Mr. Ben. Oh, this is when he says Metroland is a state of mind. That's the tagline for the movie, the retiree dude fella. Yeah.
Yeah, is it? That's great. Well done, sir.
Flash forwards to current day, and he's getting annoyed with his kid because the kid is playing with the books, and all these sultry photos of his ex fall out, and his wife goes, if you want to look at the pictures of your ex, well, you should not watch it in public or something. I don't know what the hell she says. She's not happy anyway. He has a daydream again and flashback of his fun times in Paris.
And this is where he's lying. I think he's lying in bed with this daydream, and his eyes wide open.
Yeah,
his jaw drooling, and he's like, but this is a flashback, and this annoys the living crap out of me. There's a certain set of rules you follow with flashbacks.
Yeah,
flashbacks don't take 30 bloody minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a section of the movie. It's an act of the movie, but it's a flashback.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, it's a whole flashback of...
It's a pop-up in Windows. It's not supposed to be your main content. God damn it.
Yeah, but the X button doesn't work on the pop-up, so it's like, what the hell? Look at that.
Can't get rid of it. It goes through the whole way. Oh, no.
Yeah. So then he's, flashbacks to when he's he's working in a cafe, meets his French fille. Then, I don't know, the music is terrible. It's like elevator music. There's a montage.
Shocking.
Yeah, there's a montage of his exploits with Annick, his French mistress, and then not mistress but girlfriend. It's very boring. And then
generic French waiter man Henri.
Yeah, gruff and cynical.
Wife,
kind of like us, but then he can sense then, and just in this flashback. Actually, at the start of the flashback, it goes back to him lying in bed maybe once or twice, and then it just doesn't bother anymore. Then obviously Annick is like going, because she's French, she's very direct. She's going, "What are you feeling?" And he's going, "I don't know." So that's the first start where he's like, "I don't know." She's kind of going, "What the hell is wrong with these British idiots?" And he obviously meets his current wife, married in Paris, pretending to be French, but then they start hanging out together.
Yeah. But it goes on for a bit more like this, and the future wife to be says, "Have you told your girlfriend about me?" And he's like, "Nah, why would I bother?
Not under tell. Not under tell."
And she's like, "Maybe you should." So he does,
and the most
it goes as well as you would expect. Oh, the way he does this is special.
He's stupid. He's absolutely, but he's early 20s. He doesn't have a clue what's going on.
Yeah, and this I can actually understand because we've all been stupid idiots, but this is spectacularly stupid. Yeah. He does it like I'm just dropping some facts about some of my friends, and my English girlfriend said that this movie was really good, and maybe we could watch it together, me and you. So,
you have a friend.
Just to reiterate, my English girlfriend.
Yeah.
Movie. Okay. So we'll just go on to that movie now, right? Forget about what I just said because that's been taken care of.
She's like going, "Are you idiots? What's the hell is going on? Do you love her? Do you sleep with her? Blah, blah, blah." So then
she does the right thing and just goes, right.
So yeah.
Ta-da, Chuck.
Yeah, walk out. Stumps Phil for Christopher. A couple of things I just want to talk about before we leave this flashback that lasted for half an hour. There's a lot of French stereotypes. He's talking to his wife in a cafe, and they're just eating baguettes, like dry, big baguettes. Nothing in it.
That's all they eat in France.
Yeah. Oh, yo. So anyway, so English mates come around because he's in a bit of a slump. Then he's like, "Oh,
Yeah, I'm so
Blah
upset
blah
she dumped
blah.
my ass because I was trying to say I could sleep with an English bird.
Yeah, he basically goes to Marion. I don't want a wife. I don't want bloody kids. Then the wife, Marion, the day after the day they come and try to meet with him, gives her hand to him. Back to modern day. Diddly diddly diddly.
Yeah, yeah. I'm assuming that was the Wayne's World thing you were doing right there.
Yeah. The waviness. Yeah. All right, so Chris and Tony are back in the modern day, and Chris is thinking about Anik, and he's not getting. He's saying, "Oh, I'm not getting along with Marion recently. Trapped, bored. Did I make the right choice?" And he's off to another party again. Yay!
Yeah, he invited you as well, but but yeah, you could come if you want, but you can't get a babysitter, so you maybe as well stay.
Yeah. So then he meets Joanna at the thing, and he says, "You have a nice face."
Nice, smooth.
And then, of course, because the director thinks we're all idiots, it's again flashes to that daydream where Marion's going, "I want you to have affairs."
Yeah, because we couldn't remember that for ourselves.
Yeah. Then he has another daydream. Oh, actually, no. He's trying to. He gets ready to sort of have a little bit of fun with this Joanne chick. Then has this daydream where Marion has committed suicide because he had an affair. Yeah.
It really is shockingly
Dopey.
bad.
Yeah. So there's another scene of the commute again. So train tracks, choo choo. Tony's at his house and he's upstairs with his wife for some strange reason. He's got his tie going, yo.
You left this
You know.
behind in one of the bedrooms.
What an asshole.
Yeah. Like what happens in a couple of seconds is justified from Chris.
Yeah, both of them need a big
Slapping.
slapping. So he's out the back, they're at the back, and again we have this generic, "What's wrong with you, man?" Tony says to Chris. So they have a fight.
Yes. And
So they're sitting.
The fight is the only believable part of this movie.
Should have had it on day one.
You know, I'll say about Christian Bale, I think he's a good actor, but he's really good when he's punching people. And he's good in this. He should have done that earlier.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah. So he's there. Marion's sorting out his cuts for him and said, "Tony made a pass at me twice, turned him down. Tempting, though."
Fucking hell.
"Don't you see, Chris? He's jealous of you. If you can't see why, then we really have a problem."
But it's
So they're in the
formulaic nonsense, isn't it?
It's formulaic. Then they're in the bath together. This is winding up the movie, basically. You'll be happy to know. They're in the bath together, and she then goes, "Yeah, I've been unfaithful once to you." And Chris goes, "Fuck."
That made me chuckle.
Yeah. But then it's like, kind of probably fixes their sort of, maybe resets their relationship when she says that. And sort of, I don't even know. I'm just, yeah, they're like happier in the next scene, let's put it that way.
Yeah, there was a lot of that next scene, a lot of doinking in this movie.
Yeah.
And it fills up a lot of space, I suppose, but you just get rid of it and save some time, and I can't finish watching the movie earlier.
Yeah, hurry up. Yeah. And then Chris and Tony have their last conversation, and the stupid dialogue continues.
Oh my god.
Why don't you come with me? Why don't you come with me, Chris?
The response to that should be, why don't you off?
Fuck off, and away you go. See you later. I'll see you in 10 years' time when you regret every decision you've made in your life. That could be actually a great line in the movie, actually.
I'm surprised he even bothered meeting up with him. Like, if the previous meeting was maybe a day or two before, you're probably still going to be a bit miffed. Like,
yeah.
You tried to sleep with my wife how many times?
Twice. What an idiot.
You're my best friend? Oh, yeah, I don't know if that's what I describe as a best friend, buddy.
Yeah. So he's like, "I'm content." And then we finish off the movie with one of his contemplative walks. Anik appears in an apparition, like bloody the Virgin Mary, the opposite of the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
And then Marion joins. And he's, "Oh, that's nice."
She's actually real. She doesn't disappear.
No, she's real. And then Marion joins, which leads us to believe they're going to be okay.
Who's looking after the kid?
That's what you're thinking as a dad.
But like, you've left the kid. It's like 6 months old. You bad parents.
But they want to leave with a great quotable thing. Happy, if not now, never.
Yeah, what?
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh yeah, that was one of his lists, wasn't it? Yeah. What putting
Yeah.
on your list now? What about happiness?
Yeah, what are you going to put down beside happiness?
Sod off. That's what I would have put down at that point.
Sod off.
Sod off. I'm going for a pint with Toadie.
Tony, come back, Tony. Fucking hell, Tony.
See, I think the whole bourgeois thing could have been, because it's just like lightly buttered on as a motif that doesn't actually add anything. And that's kind of annoying because you could do something with that. That you look at, wasn't it the servant?
Yeah.
It kind of goes into that, and it does a great job. This, no, it doesn't bother.
First thing I would do would be to rewrite the script and have more character building. Although I hate marriage genre.
Same as.
Did you see Marriage Story with Adam Driver?
It doesn't. The concept doesn't fill me with joy.
No, I don't watch any of the movies my wife watches. She watches Revolutionary Road with Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio every second day as a ritual to Leonardo DiCaprio. Then there's Marriage Story, and then there's other ones. I just don't watch them. I don't want to watch where they're going, why don't you make me dinner anymore?
It's very interesting to hear about somebody else's dinner habits.
I gave the plot 0.5 out of 5, just because it exists.
I'm gonna let our listeners into a secret. I was in bed sick last night watching this, and I decided.
Fair play to you for your commitment.
And I decided not to score it because I was too annoyed.
Are you giving 0 for the plot?
I'll give it 0 for the plot. It was
well done.
Absolutely taking up space in IMDb that it shouldn't be. It should not exist. Yeah. And Metacritic, of course, sorry, yes, which is our thing.
Yeah, it's our thing, but we do heavily rely on IMDb for other stuff.
Yes.
If IMDb had a better searchable database, then we'd be using that, but Metacritic is the only one with like a full-time, all-time movie list. Anyway, that's a lot of technical background. Acting. All right, okay, fine. I gave it 2 because it's okay. It's not. It's below okay, but it's still okay, I guess. What do you give?
I'm still angry. I gave it a 0.5, and that's
0.5,
and that's with an amazing actor as the front man. It had nothing going for maybe a few seconds from what's her face? The wife,
Emily Watson.
She was okay at a couple of points.
Yeah,
but there was a couple of points in the movie, and Christian Bale was French. Yeah, cat.
I thought the French actors played getting angry okay as well.
Yeah, but again, that's the last scene she's in.
True.
So she was an interesting character. If I wasn't angry, I might pop it up a little bit as you say that, but I'm still angry.
That's fine. What about production or soundtrack? Sorry, I gave probably the lowest mark I've ever given for a soundtrack. I'm giving 0.1 out of 5 because it annoyed me so much.
I actually only pop it up a little bit because there was one song in it I liked from the Stranglers, "Walking on the Beaches." It's a terrible song, but it tickles me from an earlier time in my life.
Sure.
So 0.5.
0.5.
It ain't great.
I don't know if we've actually. I think I've probably overwritten the laws of halves and quarters there by giving it 0.1. But the second I heard it, I just felt no, I don't.
It is shocking. It's like a 14-year-old with a keyboard they just got for Christmas.
Yeah, I'll actually, just so we keep the averages okay, I'll give it 0.25, just so we don't get away from our quarters and halves marking system. Production, I gave 0.5 out of 5 just because I think the costumes were fine, and probably 0.5 for the entire costume department and designer.
There's some parts of the production of this that really irritated me. God, that opening credits. I stopped watching. Yeah. After the opening credits, I stopped for hours because I couldn't face it.
Yeah, I knew I was getting into something that was going to be like a TV movie from the 70s or 80s that really was from that time period, but obviously it's 97. But this director, he's not alive anymore. I don't really wish to speak ill of the dead, but this is not
I
good.
won't say anything about the rest of his life, but this has to have been a low point. It was pants.
Yeah. So, what did you give production?
Production, as you say, it deserves a little nod for Christian Bale's amazing haircut.
Oh my god! Yeah.
It was shocking, which was kind of on point because it looks like a photo of my dad.
Oh.
Not that he looks like Christian Bale, but the same bloody haircut.
Yeah.
So yeah, 0.5. Everything else about the
0.5.
production, other than Christian Bale's hair, shocking.
Shocking. That might just clinch your lowest movie rating since we've begun. Actually,
See, the thing is,
just saying.
I think we've watched worse movies, but none that annoyed me more than this.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it. It was a very annoying movie because I really just didn't want to sit through it as a genre.
Yeah,
and I knew when I read the description of it at the end of the last episode, I just knew, oh no.
But
Anyway,
if we have to watch the genre, like I'm okay with watching a genre that I don't particularly enjoy if it's done well.
Yeah. But I'm not going out of my way to watch a marriage, whatever. I'm okay with sentimentality, nostalgia, and regret. That's great.
Especially if it involves a dog.
Yeah, well, I don't watch those either because they make me cry. Marley and Me.
Oh, God.
I read the book. I didn't watch the movie. I knew I'd not be happy with it.
Yep.
So the Wall Street Journal gave it 0, and they said, Joe Morgenstern said, Metroland, which is adapted from a novel by Julian Barnes, is an oddly unpleasant variation on the theme of the way we wear.
Yeah, that's about right.
But I'll just mention the LA Weekly. They give it 10 out of 100 by Elle Taylor. She said, replete with false dilemmas, assisted by a dreadfully stagey screenplay, correct, and directed with all the animation of a tableau vivant. Metroland is such a draggy bore.
That's about right.
That's about right. But on the other end of the scale, the Entertainment Weekly gave it 91 out of 100. Yeah. Owen Gleiberman said, it's the rare portrait of a happy marriage that is honest about the complex currents of desire, and the drama is beautifully played by Bale, who gawks with soulful sweetness, and Watson, who does her most piercing work since Breaking the Waves.
Gawks is the right word. The only correct word in that synopsis of that movie. Gawks. He does that for his flashbacks.
Yeah, and it's not, we mentioned gawking in a negative manner, not positive, because he's stupid. He looks like a comic book character when he daydreams.
Yeah, gawmless.
That's all I'm saying. Okay, so we'll do that and finish that and put Metroland underground.
Hey.
Way. And hopefully we're gonna randomize now, and yeah, we're not missing anything, right? No, that's
I think it's safe to say putting this to bed is the right thing to do with it. Just
yeah.
Maybe even skip over it in the synopsis on the review we do at the 10 mark. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's randomize and go for the next movie and see what we get. Oh, we've got 871, which we've got up. Yes, that should be good. Well, better than the 10,000s. All right, so movie 871 is actually a recent movie from 2023, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, directed by Wes Anderson, written by Roald Dahl, actually, based on Roald Dahl's story. It's actually one of the shortest movies we'll ever review because it's 37 minutes long.
Oh, I think this is on Netflix or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's somewhere like that. The summary is the short anthology film adapts 4 of the stories in the Roald Dahl collection, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, and 6 more. The main story follows Henry Sugar, who is able to see through objects and predict the future with the help of a stolen book. Starring Ralph Fiennes, our friend Ralph Fiennes.
Amazing.
Rafe Fiennes from The Dig that we watched a few episodes ago. Benedict Cumberbatch, Dev Patel, Ben Kingsley, Richard Ayoade, Jarvis Cocker. Common people.
It's an amazing cast.
Yeah, it's a great cast, and I remember it being released. I didn't actually watch it.
I've seen clips of it,
Yeah,
and the way it's presented, it's obviously very Wes Anderson. So I'm
yeah, it'll be good.
super stoked actually.
Yeah, I haven't watched his latest movie, the Alien one.
Rocket City or something like that.
Yeah, something
I
like
haven't
that.
seen that either. Apparently, he hasn't. It's not as up to his usual standard. I've heard.
No, a lot of people are saying the bubbles burst on the Wes Anderson sort of trope,
No, I would never
but
say to
I
that.
doubt it.
I love
No.
his style of shooting.
Yeah. All right, great. So that's we're looking forward to that one. Maybe our next episode won't be crazy long, but at least it'll be probably, hopefully, a
Well,
quality movie.
probably not twice the length of the movie.
No, hopefully not. Hopefully not. Okay, so that was episode 41, and we'll see you in episode 42 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews. Don't forget, if you've listened this far, we've actually started up on TikTok, just posting our favorite scenes and maybe our least favorite scenes, and some just quirky scenes as well. So follow us on TikTok if you're into that sort of thing and you're below the age of 20. It's an interesting platform, TikTok, but I'm learning a lot about editing movies on a mobile phone.
You should see Colin Floss. Huh?
Yes, that'll be the next as I break my hips in multiple areas. All right. Yes, as always, we're on all audio platforms, so give us ratings on there and like us as you see fit, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.
Ta-ra, Chuck.